as always, by Dillon.
Correct. Hi, that's me. I'm still here.
And we're going to preview today's game, and that should be pretty fun. But more importantly, we have to discuss the elephant in the room. Is Sean Payton holding Bo Nix back?
Correct. Hi. It's a real possibility, especially when you look at his 93 PFF grade from college. That should be
Yeah,
translating.
I mean, as we all know, PFF is real and good, and everything they say makes sense. So it's got to be Sean Payton.
Correct. It's not. I mean, they have so many. They have so many weapons, and they have they have Cortland Sutton, and they have there's Cortland Sutton. So there's just a lot of weapons there for Bo Nix to be using that Sean Payton is not taking advantage of.
Yeah, like a lot of downfield threats, and they just have no way of scheming guys open downfield.
Yeah.
Like, they should know Bo Nix likes to throw late and behind his guys, so they should scheme it to where that's how they get open.
And if I were Sean Payton, I think what I would really focus on is making sure that Bo Nix could throw the ball and his guys to catch it. And I think that's not something he's really focused on.
Yeah, no, it's pretty weird. Like, they have no run game, so like, what's Bo Nix supposed to do?
Yeah, and especially I mean they have an elite defense, and Sean Payton should be doing better by Bo Nix, and I think that's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have that.
You sure are. So basically, the answer is yes. Sean Payton is holding Bo Nix back, and the Broncos need to fire Sean Payton and get a real coach who can finally maximize their quarterback's talents.
Correct.
So like, who do you think should coach the team?
Probably Russell Wilson.
I was thinking. So I was watching
He's
the
not
New
doing
York
it.
Jets this week,
Uh huh.
and their offense looked a lot better than it did last year. So like, maybe they should go after the Jets offensive coordinator. Do you know who that is?
Uh, it's Brett Favre, right?
No, it's this guy named Nathaniel Hackett,
Okay,
and he
and
used to be
he's
he used to
good.
be the OC in Jacksonville and I think Green Bay as well. And everywhere he's gone, like they've had a pretty good jump in productivity.
Okay,
And also, like, he's a really cool guy. He loves Austin Powers.
yeah, I think one thing I really like about him is how much he quotes Austin Powers.
Yeah. Like, film study is one thing, but film study, that's where you
Yes,
make champions.
obviously.
Yeah, so basically, we've determined the Broncos need to hire Nathaniel Hackett to fix their offense and get the most out of Bo Nix.
Who has
Maybe
all the
they
upsides of an elite quarterback prospect.
Yeah, and like, just in case it doesn't work out, they should probably trade for Russell Wilson as well.
So sorry, can we talk about the Seahawks real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I'm watching the what would you call it? The Patriots Seahawks game, and when they had the busted coverage and DK just like splits, the corner and the safety, and no one runs with him, and he gets a free touchdown. Before
Yeah,
Gino even throws the ball, I believe it's Tyler Lockett has his hands up calling for a touchdown because he just sees DK blowing by these guys.
because it's just so fucking free.
Yeah, he's just like the moment it leaves Gino's hand, Tyler's just standing over there, arms up in the air. And at first, when I was watching it, I thought he was pissed off, but because I thought he was like, "What the hell?" But no, he's just like, "Oh, okay."
It's like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, it rocks.
Yeah, hopefully we get to see some more of that this week. Does Miami have like a good defense?
Um, in theory, they should be okay.
Like I know a
They
lot
have
of people
not
are
been okay so far.
I know people are hyping up like Jalen Ramsey versus DK Metcalf is the most
Yeah,
exciting matchup, which I don't actually think is that interesting because we've seen that a lot.
I'm not really too bothered. I don't care. Like Ramsey's kind of washed. DK's not washed.
Yeah.
And honestly, it never even felt like a big rivalry. I really felt like I don't know. It feels like one of the more overplayed rivalries in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm actually way more interested to see Tariq Woolen versus Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I think that's much more interesting. But even just as far as like DK rivalries go, like he wasn't even the biggest DK rivalry in like the NFC West. Like who's that one Niners corner and him are always like fist fighting. Trevor's Ward. Like they're always like about to kill each other.
Yeah, but that's because like the 49ers intentionally try to start fights with DK.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that personally.
No, I think because DK could probably like that scene in Deadpool 2 where the Juggernaut rips him in half.
Yeah,
I think he could do that to me.
I
And
think it's a non-zero possibility.
I think I'd let him.
Yeah, well, I don't think you'd have a choice. Like if he was gonna do it.
No, but I'd like thank him for the privilege.
I didn't. I mean, if you want to make it a fetish, you can.
No, it's just like an honor.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Can we talk about just before we get into the Dolphins game? Like, Mike McDonald is a psychopath.
True. Every
The
week
amount
we
of
gotta.
Like his defense is so annoying to watch.
Because like they just don't give you anything.
Well, it's like it'll look like there's three linemen rushing, and then like fucking Spoon and some random ass safety will crash down, and then you'll see like Jaron Reed and like a hook girl.
Yeah, I mean last week they sent both the corners on a blitz.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's a psychopath.
It was pretty sick. And I think if it was against a less mobile quarterback or a less smart quarterback, it would have like resulted in a huge loss. But because Jacoby Brissett was pretty capable of moving in the pocket, he was able to avoid the disaster.
Right. I think Skylar Thompson is gonna. He's dead.
He might die.
I don't think that Terran Armstead is making it past like the first quarter either.
Like, there's a very real possibility that Skylar Thompson could match Tua's concussion count in one game.
Yeah, I mean at least hits to the quarterback is gonna be like generational.
And like Boye Mafe has been cooking this year.
I'm watching him right now. He is cooking this Patriots left tackle every snap.
Yeah, he's pretty nutty. And like when Derek Hall gets good and Byron Murphy like starts taking over games. And when we get Uchenna Nwosu back, like this defense is gonna be like, what are you supposed to do against them?
I'm a little disgusted by how good Darrell Taylor's doing for the Bears.
Yeah, but like he
Because,
does
like,
one thing really well, and
Yeah,
he's really
I mean-
bad at everything else.
I haven't looked at Michael Jackson at all this year. I wonder how he's doing.
He's on the Panthers, so bad.
Yeah, true.
Oh, we got.
Are you at all nervous about? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We got to talk about Bryce Young. Like, holy shit!
Yeah, I would trade. I would trade the third round pick for him.
You would?
Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying like, "Oh, we have Sam Howell," and like having Sam Howell on the bench is not an excuse to not go get Bryce Young if he's available for like.
I'd get him
price.
for a 7th.
That's a little ridiculous.
Like, here's the thing, though, is like he was drafted to do this one thing, like really, really, really well, better than anyone else, and he can't do that thing.
That thing being
Like reading the defense, just
oh well.
lightning fast, and he doesn't know how to do it at an NFL level, and he's not big enough or fast enough or strong enough
So
to
he
like
throws.
hide it.
He's really good at throwing with anticipation. That was always his like strong suit to me, is just like predicting where a guy's gonna come open or knowing ahead of time. And it's also it's hard. It's so hard to evaluate him when he's in that dog shit system and that dog shit team. So
Yeah, but, like, he has shown nothing though.
yeah, but like I'm not convinced if you put Patrick Mahomes on that team, they would win more than 4 games.
No, but they'd at least like be a little interesting sometimes. Like he'd get over 100 yards passing in a game. Like when you have
It's also
two tries,
it feels reactionary to me. It feels like a new head coach trying to save his job, because like 2 games is that's not a lot of games, Drew. That's 2. That's
No,
like
but-
one more than 1.
but 2 games and you haven't eclipsed 200 yards passing. Is
Yeah,
like,
your fucking wide receiver 1 is Adam Thielen, like 38-year-old Adam Thielen. Like I don't think it's not being talked about enough how shitty his situation is. Like it's generationally bad over there. They have like 4 real NFL players.
Yeah, but like even a guy like Zach Wilson hits 100 yards passing.
Right, but I mean Zach Wilson was throwing to Garrett Wilson, and they had like Brees Hall. He had like real NFL players. I don't know.
I mean, they didn't always. And,
I
like,
don't know, man.
The offensive line in Carolina is actually not bad. Like,
I would say that this Carolina roster overall is the worst NFL roster in the last 30 years. Like, I think it's just as bad as the 0-7 or 0-17 Browns.
0-16 Browns, 0-16
0-16.
Lions. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't add the 17th game yet. Which, by the way, if they had 17 games both those seasons, those teams would have definitely won Week 18. I don't know who they'd
Probably.
play, but they'd win Week 18.
Yeah.
By, like,
So I don't know.
30 points.
I'm not beating the drum. Here, gonna tell you that like, you know, Bryce Young is an elite quarterback. I do think that if you could get him for a reasonable price, that it would be a good process, especially because Gino is 33 and needs a contract, and who knows how that plays out.
They should give him all the money.
Yeah, no, I agree, but you know, sometimes GMs are stupid.
Yeah. All right, 1 second.
Like I don't know, Seahawks Twitter acting like Sam, like you don't need to go get Bryce Young because you have Sam Howell. That's just a little ridiculous.
I mean, it's all about the
Sam Howell
price.
doesn't. Yeah, for sure. Like if it's like I think a 3rd round pick would be on the expensive side, but I would still do it. Anything over that, I'd be out. I think.
I'd be like, hard line, can't give up more than day 3.
Well, yeah, you just keep him for that price, though.
Yeah, so I don't actually think he should be traded at all. Like
No.
I think Dave Canales is a good coach, and he'll get it figured if he has the time. But, you know, with Carolina, that's a big if, because they'll just fire anyone for any reason.
David Tepper, Jerry Jones exists solely to shield David Tepper from being the worst league owner in the NFL. Like,
No, David Tepper's so much worse.
do you think he's worse than Jerry? Did you see the Jerry Jones slave video? That was crazy.
No, but like as an owner, Jerry Jones at least consistently lets his guys field competitive teams.
Yeah.
And he doesn't fire coaches, which is, I think, pretty good. Except for that
My
one
thing
time
is,
he did. That
David
one very
Tepper is.
famous time he did.
Yeah. David Tepper's confusing to me because he's simultaneously getting his hands like in the kitchen trying to make the dough, but then he's also being like, I'm not going to give you any dough to make the pizza, you know?
No, he's so bad because he wants to be involved in everything, but he doesn't want to take any responsibility when it backfires.
I want to talk about Jim Harbaugh for a second. I know this episode's
Okay.
kind of already off the rails.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, they all are.
When when Jim Harbaugh said, "I'm gonna die leaning on my staff like Moses," that's so hard. That is such a hard line. Like I'm so mad he said
Uh,
that because that's
It's
so
kind of
fucking cool.
bars. It's
Yeah, and
bars.
then I don't know if you saw. It's on one of those like dude bro former NFL player podcasts. But Joey Bosa is on there, and he's talking about how Jim Harbaugh gets in the cold plunge with his shirt tucked in khakis, just like in his normal
That's
clothes.
that is psycho behavior.
I don't like Jim Harbaugh, but
No,
man, he's good for the league. He's good for entertainment. I'll say that.
I will say my hatred of him has like really fallen off
Yeah,
since it's been like a decade since he was with the 49ers, and I think he hates the 49ers as much as we do.
it kind of seemed like he transitioned from being a hateful little man into a freaky little man, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so like my hate for Jim Harbaugh is nowhere near what it was.
Hmm.
Like there's still a distaste for him, obviously, but like I'm okay with him being in the league and being a silly guy.
Yeah,
Like I can accept that.
I don't think he's like gonna win a Super Bowl, but I think he'll be like okay.
I mean the Chargers are are like winning in a really sustainable way though, which is kind of annoying. Like they're winning at the
Yeah,
line on both sides, and that's really what you need.
Joe Alt
And
looks sick.
yeah, there are like people who are mad at the Bears for not drafting him, but like where were they gonna draft him?
Yeah, I mean, would you trade up for him? I doubt it.
Yeah, like are you gonna not take Caleb Williams?
I mean, you could probably argue they should have taken some offensive linemen instead of Rome. I mean, Rome is cool as hell. I like Rome, but your offensive line's kind of dookie.
Yeah, but my only pushback is like when people bring that up and they're like, "Well, your offensive line's terrible, and you draft a wide receiver. Why didn't you draft an offensive lineman?" Like offensive linemen take like 3 years to get good anyway.
Yeah, unless you're Joe Alt, and then you just come in and you're fine.
Yeah, like even our guy like Charles Cross is really good this year. He was kind of mid for his first 2 years.
He had a good rookie year, and then he kind of fell off his second year a bit, and now I feel like he's like on his bullshit.
Yeah, which is like normal and to be expected. Like if the Bears drafted an offensive lineman at 9 overall, it wouldn't really make their team that much better right now.
Definitely not.
You could argue it's a better investment in the long term, but right now the immediate results probably wouldn't be any different.
How loud is my clicking, by the way? I'm like looking through stuff.
I can't hear it.
Okay, cool. Um, what are some things? I mean, is your main matchup for the Dolphins Seahawks game is just Woolen versus
Versus Tyreek, yeah, I really because Tyreek is like known as the fastest guy, but like Tariq Woolen is the guy who can keep up with him. And so
I
I
think
want to see if he's technically sound enough to capitalize on that.
I might get called a name for this, but I think that Woolen is faster than that.
Oh, he's faster, but like, is he at that point in his
Whatever
career
that means.
where he's got the technique to like maximize his speed on the field against the fastest guy?
I don't think he needs to. He's not just faster. He's also like huger. Like the dude's just massive.
Yeah, absolute
I
freak.
also don't know how many like. I mean, Skylar Thompson is bad, full stop. But he is also a psycho. So he might
Yeah,
take some shots downfield. I just don't see a situation where he's like burning. I mean, I don't know. I would be very surprised.
he's probably not going to have that much time. Like
Yeah.
realistically, I don't know a ton about the Dolphins' offensive line, but they were getting pushed around a fuck ton against the Bills.
Well, yeah. Their offensive line is not good. It's very
No.
bad.
So like Seattle's pass rush is probably gonna like bully them a lot.
Yes, I think it's going to be a. You know how the Seahawks keep like almost sacking quarterbacks?
Yeah.
I feel like this could be like the day where it's like, oh shit, okay, we have like the 9 sack day or whatever. Maybe
Like
not nine.
they're playing a guy who can't get out of the sacks for one reason or another. Like Bo Nix, it was because he doesn't throw downfield, so like he's just gonna take the shitty little dump offs 40 times, and then Jacoby Brissett's like a smart guy who could like work around it.
Right. I don't know. Skylar Thompson, like if they just do like the Patriots game plan where they check down all game, I'm gonna get a little annoyed.
Yeah, but like the Seahawks are gonna tackle, so
The tackling can't be much worse than it was last week.
yeah, I don't know what it was up with that. Like the vibes were weird. Like
It was the team's first 10 a.m. game.
Yeah, I think just being on the East Coast at 10 a.m. like kind of threw some stuff off. Also, the Patriots offensive coordinator, like, I guess was an assistant with the Browns, and so he had a ton of experience against Mike McDonald.
I don't know.
No, but it was enough to like make things a little more fucky than they maybe should have been.
I think that JSN might be our number one receiver.
Maybe. I don't know.
He leads the team in targets and receptions.
He had a really good game. I mean,
I think DK's skill set is best when he's like an elite number 2.
Like DK, I think is still going to lead in yards because I think his yards per catch is going to be a lot more than JSN.
Yeah.
It's like he maximizes more limited opportunities, whereas JSN can just like kill you with volume.
It probably rocks for JSN, like how much attention DK gets.
Yeah, and like Tyler Lockett's also there, and you can never count him out.
I'm having the vibe that it's going to be a big Tyler Lockett.
It could be.
I don't know. I feel like he's not an at-home merchant, but he plays really well at home.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really keep track of that stuff too much, but like he just will randomly put up 180 yards in a game.
Yeah, and then it was vanish for like a week. Like DK can handle it, he's gone for a minute.
Yeah, like he'll have like 50, 60 yards a bunch of games, then he'll pop off for like 200 and then kind of disappear for a bit and then come back and do his like 50, 60 yards a game thing.
Yeah. I want to talk shit about my favorite podcast, Real Hawk Talk.
Oh, what did they do?
I saw a clip today of them talking about the draft and how there's no prospect they would take over Byron Murphy. They said that they would pass on Caleb Williams to take Byron Murphy again.
That's all right, dude. Like,
it's just like I'm all for being a little bit of a homer, but like let's pump the brakes a little bit.
That's so easy to say, like in our position though, right? It's like it's like saying I would never stick my hand in the cookie jar. I would always show restraint, and then like you're in the position, you got the cookie jar there, and you're kind of hungry, and you're like,
I could go for a cookie right now, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like
a cookie never hurt no one.
Like it's so easy to say you would always do the right thing,
right?
When you're not in the position where you're actually expected to do the right thing.
It's also like you are never taking Caleb Williams over Byron Murphy, or other way around. You're not taking Byron Murphy over Caleb Williams unless you already have like a quarterback.
Unless you have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like if you have Patrick Mahomes, you're trading down and you're getting a haul, and then you're taking Byron Murphy. But if you have Patrick Mahomes, you're also never picking first overall.
Right.
But if you're in a position where you are picking first overall, you're taking Caleb Williams. I don't know what
Yes,
the fuck that take is.
Yeah, it was dumb. I would have taken any of the three quarterbacks over Murphy, just so we're clear.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, with the other guys, it's a little more of a discussion. Like you have to think about it a little bit, but
I think you don't have to though.
I think with Drake May, at least there's some thought.
I like Drake May. I'm a Drake May shooter. He looked like shit when he got his like 2 reps versus the Jets, though. I will say.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I got so bored at halftime, and I was just like, "Yeah, I guess I'll play Fortnite."
I was so down bad. I was listening to it on the radio at work.
Oh no!
No one has less hope for their team than the Patriots radio broadcasters. By the way, like those are some beaten down men. Like they kept being like, "You cannot put Drake May in this situation. He's gonna die."
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty abysmal, but like, I don't know. The score got to 24-3 or whatever, and I was just like, "Do I need to watch the rest of this game?"
No, the answer is no.
No. So I went into Fortnite and I played Brain Rot Box Fights instead.
Did you win?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Like it's basically just a little user created game where you get special powers based on brain rot memes.
Okay.
Yeah, not
Of
really
which,
relevant.
there are many.
Yeah, so like there's Freddy Five Bear, obviously, and Costco guys.
I love, dude. I'm a Costco guy's believer.
We're Costco guys. Of course.
Hey, we're Costco guys. Of course we fuck in the bathroom. You know.
We're Costco guys. Of course, we're giving handies in the tech area.
Yeah, good enough. You got there. That's what counts.
Yeah. I'll work on that. I'll workshop that bit.
We're Costco guys. Of course we do return fraud. You know, like. Did you see that? I don't care about being off topic. What are you gonna do? Fucking sue me. Did you see the behind the scenes of him doing it?
The Costco guys?
Yeah.
No.
The dad is like a Stanley Kubrick level psychopath where he's like, no, redo that shot. You have to do that shot again. Say it again. And the kid's like, I know. It's fucking
gotta do
crazy.
127 takes. We're Costco guys.
Yeah, he's like, no. He's like,
we're Costco guys. Of course we do take 127.
They're like in the Costco food court and they're collabing with another TikToker and they're like, he's like, okay, so I say we're Costco guys. You say you gotta take a bite of it. You say boom a doom. He's like directing the whole thing.
I mean, you gotta admire the commitment.
I mean, the Seahawks defense is getting a big boom.
Do you think the Seahawks defense is Costco guys?
Do I think that? Costco's a Seattle company, so.
Yeah, but do you think they're Costco guys?
And do I think they shop there? Is that what you're asking?
Just do they give we're Costco guys vibes?
I mean, the entire offensive line.
Charles Cross is Costco guys.
I don't think Charles Cross is. I don't think he knows what Costco is. I don't think he's not on that wave.
You think he just gives he just knows ball?
Yeah, he could probably tell you about football, the best place to get lobster in Seattle, and Range Rovers. That's what he's talking about.
You think it's like that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward wants to impress Squilliam, so they make the Krusty Krab like a fancy restaurant, and SpongeBob has to forget everything except fine dining.
Yeah, I think it's probably just like that.
Just like so, someone asked him his name, and he's just like, "Ah, fuck."
Yeah, he's William.
Oh, he's not SpongeBob.
No, I think he's. I think Charles Cross is pretty easily William.
So he just shows up, and he's like, "Wow,
Yeah.
it's immaculate." Oh, you're frauds.
Did you see that Byron Murphy went on the Marshawn Lynch podcast?
No.
It's pretty fun. I'd recommend watching it.
Okay. I don't really listen to podcasts.
Call me out. Podcast is just the American way to actually. It's the accepted method of time theft.
Like sometimes I'll put one on, like when I'm playing a game, and I just want something on in the background.
Right.
Like I'm not sitting down. Like it's time to enjoy my favorite podcast. And if this is someone's background noise, like that's totally cool. I love that for you.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, hey, whatever gets you through the day, man. You know.
Like if you want to hear us try to talk about the Seahawks and then go on a tangent about Costco guys. Oh, could you imagine Mike McDonald coaching the Costco guys?
Yeah. No, I can't actually. It cannot enter my brain. I'm trying.
Because like you said, the dad is like super committed to like getting it perfect, and that's exactly how Mike McDonald is about like practice.
Yeah.
Like he'll just shut it down mid play and be like, "No, we're doing it again."
Yeah. Take it from the fucking top and don't fuck it up this time.
Yeah, yeah. So like, could you imagine if they collabed?
I don't think it. No, I can't. I think they would hate each other.
They'd like, one of them would have to kill the other because they can only have one be in charge.
How do you feel about the fact that Mike McDonald is always in some like Lululemon getup?
I think that's just like standard for like your typical 30-something head coach.
Yeah.
Like, because they have assigned clothes, I guess, or like things you're allowed to wear on the sidelines.
Really?
Yeah, you have to wear certain Nike stuff, and so like you have a choice of certain things. Like, I don't think you're allowed. Maybe you could. Like, you can't really wear suits on the sideline anymore, which I think is fine.
I don't think anyone's like missing anything by not being able to wear suits on the sideline.
No, I mean I know Bill Belichick wore one once as like an homage to Paul Brown.
Okay.
But
That's
like,
not so bad.
no, I think that's the only time he's ever dressed up. Like, yeah, I think all the sideline people have to wear like approved gear from Nike, and they have to like have the Nike show, obviously.
Yeah. I will say bad news about this game. Well, not this game. I guess the team in general. Noah Fant went on. Not Noah Fant. Excuse me. George Fant went on the IR today, which sucks.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate.
I don't know if you saw that or not.
No, I've been like busy this morning, gaming.
I can't do 4 games with Stone Forsythe. Like they need to sign someone.
They could sign me. I'll do it.
Anyone, I'll kill myself if I gotta watch Stone Forsythe, man.
Yeah, like I could use the workout because right now my gym is being kind of weird because they got bought out by a different gym.
Right.
So like in the interim, while I get that figured out, I'll play some games. Like I don't know what the height requirement is to be a right tackle. It's probably more than 5'9". But
I would imagine it's probably more than 5'9".
I'll figure it out though. I'm built different.
Yeah. I don't really have a lot to say about this game, honestly. I feel like the Seahawks should win pretty easily. Like
it's so straightforward.
It might be like the easiest game for me to like predict this entire season.
Yeah, they should realistically win by 2 or 3 scores.
Yeah, I feel like this is where. Well, okay, I would like Geno Smith to throw more than one touchdown this year.
Yeah, but like the only reason he didn't throw more was because his receivers just kept dropping passes.
This is true.
Like he probably could have had 3 or 4.
I would like to see it.
So like and like nobody's throwing a lot of touchdown passes anyway. So like it's not like Geno's lagging behind everyone else.
No, I just I want like the 3 touchdown game. I want like the 3 or 4 touchdown fuck you game.
I'd like Geno to have a 2015 Russell Wilson stretch. Remember when he had 5 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, that rocked.
That was so sick.
Ran the ball like 10 yards a game.
No, I mean they were running it really well because they had what's his face in his rookie year.
Christian Michael, right?
No, they had it was the undrafted guy.
Precise.
No,
Really not
fuck,
Precise?
I'm blanking on his name. But like he had that one,
Thomas Rawls.
yeah, Thomas Rawls had that like magic stretch where he was like getting 200 yards a game. And then he got injured and just never played well again.
Then he was bad forever, yeah.
Yeah, which is sad.
Well, he went to the Buccaneers and was like okay for a minute. That was weird.
Was he with the Buccaneers? I know he went to the Jaguars.
Yeah, he had like a career resurgence with the Bucs for a minute.
I never saw that.
I mean, he wasn't like good, but he was definitely better.
I gotta look this up like right now. I have to see it. Like,
I think he had like a playoff run with the Bucs.
see, I know. Leonard Fournette had a run with the Bucs. Thomas Rawls stats. Look at career stats for Thomas Rawls. It's probably gonna load super slow because my Wi-Fi is getting throttled since we're doing this.
It's gonna look really stupid for me if he never played for the Bucs.
He never played for the Buccaneers.
So I must be thinking of Tampa then.
Thomas Rawls played 3 seasons for the Seahawks, and then had 1 game with the Cincinnati Bengals, and then he was on like the Jaguars practice squad, I guess.
Chad, is this real?
His Jaguars stats don't even show up.
I guess I'm insane then, because I thought he had a resurgence.
Nope. He had 1,300 career rushing yards, and 800 of them were in 2015, when he averaged 5.6
Shout out to
yards
Thomas
a carry.
Rawls. I like Thomas Rawls. He's all right.
Yeah, he was pretty sick for that 1 year, and we thought we had a beast mode 2.0, and then the next year we had no running backs, and the year after that we had no running backs.
There's a couple of years where Russ led the Seahawks in rushing,
right? 1 year. That was 2017. Because in 2016 he wasn't rushing either, because he had an injury all year, courtesy of Miami Week 1.
Yeah.
But 2017 he led the team in rushing, and he also led the league in touchdown passes. But Blair Walsh kept him out of the playoffs, so no MVP votes. And then 2018 was like the 1 year where Chris Carson stayed healthy.
I love Chris Carson. It's sacrilegious, he might be my favorite Seahawks running back.
Over Marshawn?
Yeah, something about him, like, love a guy who just hurdles everyone.
He had that flip.
Yeah, like, just a jumpy boy, you know?
Yeah, but like his window of like productivity in the NFL was so short, and it's so sad.
That is the only thing.
Like it was less than 2 full seasons, I think.
He was faster than Marshawn. He's like Chris Carson is like low key one of the most athletic running backs ever.
And he just like never got a chance to really show out.
I wonder what he's up to. I
Uh,
checked his socials. He doesn't update them.
it's probably not up to much. Like, he's probably
I
just
mean, if he was
chilling.
smart with his money and invested, he's probably set, right?
He got a back because we signed him to a 2-year extension. I think like a 2-year contract when he was up for free agency, and then immediately after that, he broke his neck and never played again.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. But it's also probably why you shouldn't be jumping over people.
Yeah, I don't know. He just like couldn't stay together. Like Rashad Penny was also so good when he was healthy, and he was just never healthy.
Yeah.
Like Seattle had
I
some
thought he was
really
going to have a massive year with the Eagles, but he didn't even get a chance, really.
no, and then this year he signed with the Panthers and then retired like a week later. He was just like, I can't do this.
No one has cooler highlights than Rashad Penny.
No, he's so sick. Like when he played, he was so sick.
It's also sick that he has like the most like receiving yards of any college running back ever. Or not receiving, sorry, rushing.
Yeah, he's pretty nutty. Like on potential, he's absolutely insane. And then like, it's so unfortunate he never really just could stay healthy long enough to show it in the NFL.
Right. He had 1 year where he was good and
Yeah, then
healthy.
then Seattle got Ken Walker, and like he just became redundant.
I I was I was devastated he didn't get another contract here, which in hindsight is kind of hilarious.
Like you were gonna have to pay him like $5-6 million, and that's a lot for a guy who's gonna be a running back too.
Right. At best.
Realistically, and then they drafted Zach Charbonnet, who's very much a running back too.
I have some sympathy for him just because the offensive line didn't do him any favors, but
Yeah, no, but like he plays so different from Ken Walker. Like he can really shine as a change of pace guy, I think.
well, it's also like I feel like if they want to, they can run all over the Dolphins.
Probably. I mean, what do they have realistically on their line? Like Calais Campbell.
Yeah, for as long as he's healthy or not tired, even.
Yeah, he's like old.
Yes, correct.
And like they have what's his face, Jalen Phillips. Is he
I don't think
healthy?
he's been healthy this year.
No, like
He's either
gets
been
hurt a lot.
healthy. He's either been unhealthy or bad.
Like I know he gets hurt a lot. Like in college, he was forced into medical retirement with UCLA because he just got concussed so much.
Right. They let their stud defensive tackle go in free agency.
Yeah. So like I don't really know what they have going on defensively aside from a couple of guys. Oh, they do
They
have
should.
Jordan Brooks.
They have Jordan Brooks, and all of their corners are on paper good or okay.
But they're kind of aging.
Right.
Like, how old is Jalen Ramsey? He's got to be like pushing 30 now, right?
He's over 30 for sure. He's probably 31 or 32.
Yeah. So like, he's getting to that point in his career where, realistically, he's not that guy anymore.
No, definitely not that guy.
I'm gonna look it up. Jalen Ramsey is 29.
He's only 29. No shot.
Yeah, I mean he got
He turned
drafted
30 in like a day.
like he turns 30 in October.
Okay, so
Like he's gonna be 30. But like yeah, he was drafted I think at 21 in 2017, so that makes sense. Like I don't know.
I
But
don't think there's a
he's
single position group that they're better than us at. Besides, I guess you could say wide receiver. Yeah, sure, whatever.
like he's at the point like when you're as a corner on your third team, that means you're just not that guy anymore. Usually, like
Right.
even Deion Sanders with the Cowboys. Like at that point, he was mostly just coasting on reputation.
Tyler Lockett's so cool.
Yeah.
So I'm just watching the what do you call it? The game where they won the overtime, where Gino like flips the field, rolls back, and hits Lockett.
Oh, it's pretty sick. So that wasn't last week's game, was it?
No, yeah, it was.
Okay.
Lockett's had like 2 game-winning catches 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
My red flags will start to go up a little bit that we might be frauds if we struggle versus the Dolphins and win by like 2 points again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really put too much stock into like we're not winning by a fuck ton of points.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you win by 50 or 1 point, but
Like it's so hard to go undefeated in September. Like I don't
yeah.
care if every game is like right up to the buzzer. Like even if it's against the worst fucking teams you've ever seen. 'Cause like just consistently winning when you're not playing your best ball is so hard.
I'm looking at the Dolphins injury report.
All right. Like what if
Hold
Jordan
the fort.
Brooks... Okay.
Tua is not playing.
Oh wow. Really?
Yes.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, so every good player is hurt for them.
Okay. Except for Jordan Brooks, or is he hurt too?
Jordan Brooks is not on the injury report.
No, like imagine he has a revenge game. Cause like he can cover wide receivers.
Let me see here. Yeah, so it looks like. Oh, excuse me. What do you call it? Grant DeBose is out. Whoever that is. Raheem Mostert won't be playing. Malik Washington won't be playing. Taron Armstead left practice.
Devon Achane could be so annoying, or he could be a total non-factor.
I think he'll be a non-factor because I think Mike McDonald's gonna have like 9 dudes in the box all game.
Like he's just like a freaky athlete though.
Yeah, he's a freaky athlete, but we have no fear of.
No fear of the passing game, realistically.
Yeah, so you can just sort of like fully commit to making sure he doesn't ruin the game for you.
Like you can probably just let the corners play man all day because, like Skylar Thompson's not good enough to punish whatever separation they might get. Oh, getting a phone call.
Oh yeah, is it the base department?
It's John Pork.
Is it really John Bork?
No, it's some random unknown number. If they leave a message, I'll listen to it later. I never answer phone calls.
No, if I don't know the number, no shot.
It's like a hardline policy. I'm just not
Well,
answering.
they're all scams, like
unless it's my mom, like I'm just not answering it.
right. Well, I think that I mean, I don't really have any takes. We've got them all out. I think the Dolphins are bad and we're good.
And Sean Payton is holding back Bo Nix.
Yeah, which is going to be a problem for them long term. So
yeah, they really need to get a capable head coach. That's my favorite cycle.
Yeah,
it's like the cycle they go through every fucking 2 years. It's like, oh, we got the quarterback. Now we need to get the coach who can maximize the quarter. Oh, we got the coach. Now we need a quarterback who he can like win with. And like
they gave Sean Payton so much money.
They keep going back and forth on that though. Like it's so funny.
It's hilarious, yeah. It's objectively hilarious.
Like no guys, George Payton's a good GM. He's got the roster. Like
anything else you want to? Anything else you want to touch on before I have to go mow the lawn?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the Pokemon Baltimore Regionals that happened last week.
Okay, yeah, you can talk about that for a second, and I'll go.
Okay, so Incineroar beat the washed allegations.
Okay.
All right, now
I know him from Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, I don't know how much you know about. Probably like nothing, right? You know nothing about Pokemon VGC.
No, I know. Okay, check this shit out. I know that Greninja used to be good. I know that.
Greninja has never been good.
Okay, never mind. I know that. What's the poison frog dude? Is that Greninja?
Croagunk and Toxicroak.
Yeah, I think one of those used to be good, maybe.
Not really. I mean, there's some niche utility sometimes in low power formats.
I'll work through this. I'll find someone who used to be good. Last guess here.
Okay.
One of the Rotoms used to be good.
Rotom Wash and Rotom Heat.
Okay, yeah, see, told you.
Like, they were pretty good in Gen 5 and Gen 6.
Here's what I know. You get a dude out there, you set up some like stealth spikes and some toxic spikes.
Oh, no, that's singles only. You don't really do that stuff in doubles.
All right, whatever, man. Tell me about the event. What happened? How did he beat the washed allegations?
Okay, so Incineroar, if you don't know, basically the best Pokemon ever in doubles in VGC. Because
very strong.
Well, because he's got this ridiculous skill set that's just so hard to stop. Like, he's the best support Pokemon ever, basically. Because he has Intimidate, which drops everyone's attack. And he gets moves like Parting Shot, which allows him to switch out and drop your stats. And like Knock Off and Fake Out. And he can also do damage offensively with Flare Blitz. And so he's just so fucking hard to stop. But in the current format, a lot of the Pokemon are like special attackers. Or like Archaludon is like the strongest guy right now. And he's not really affected by what Incineroar does. So like people thought Incineroar was not going to be very good. But he won regionals in Baltimore. So like...
Love that for him.
So like he beat the washed allegations. There were some crazy teams though. There was this one that was based around Toadscruel and Galarian Weezing.
Aegislash used to be good, right? One of them sword dudes.
Yeah, Aegislash is good sometimes. But Aegislash is not in Scarlet and Violet, so So like it's hard to say, but he was, I think, good sometimes in Sword and Shield, and he was good in Sun and Moon and occasionally in X and Y.
Do you play competitively?
Not in actual competitions, but I build teams. The thing is, I don't build like good teams though. I build stupid teams.
Right.
Based around like, if I could do this one thing, it would be so funny.
Right. What the one thing I don't like, when you start getting into like EVs and IVs and all that, that's where I I don't know, man.
Okay, so IVs are actually a lot simpler now because you can use bottle caps, and that fixes everything's IVs. I mean, technically, sometimes you need like a low IV, and that's a little annoying, but like that's only for Pokemon that use Trick Room, realistically, or if you're really worried about foul play. Like for the most part, IVs you don't really have to worry about. Natures you don't really have to worry about because you can just use mints. And EVs are easier than ever. Because, like, you can just look up an optimal spread for whatever Pokemon you want to use, and then you just use vitamins, and you can do it in 5 minutes.
I don't know. I know I used to like that website where you can just like build Pokemon teams and battle people, which I cannot remember the name.
Yeah, Showdown.
Yeah, Showdown.
Yeah, I use that to like test my ideas.
Is that do they play the actual competitions on like the Switch then?
Yeah, they play because Showdown isn't an official thing at all. I honestly don't know why the Pokemon Company hasn't shut it down. Maybe because competitive players love it.
Yeah, Nintendo doesn't give a fuck though.
Yeah, it's not like the thing is it's not costing them money.
Yeah.
So like, it's not a threat, I don't think. So they let it stick around.
Well, yeah, I gotta go mow the lawn, so I gotta get out of here. But it's been fun, and we'll probably do a post game. I might actually be busy. Drew might do a post game alone.
We'll see. If there's something to talk about, then I'll try and make it happen. But if it's like a standard game, probably not.
If there's something to talk about, I'll probably try and get out of my obligations to come talk about it.
Like if it's a standard boring game, there probably won't be a post game thing. If there is, it'll probably be on Spaces.
If we lose, there will be a post game.
Yeah, we're basically it's gonna be you trying to talk me down from killing myself. So do we have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, closing thoughts. Seahawks by 1 trillion points. I think that's my takeaway is that the Seahawks are going to win by a lot.
All right, so yeah, I'm kind of on the same page there. Like Seahawks are going to win by 1 million. Unionize your workspace. Your boss is not your friend. Standard stuff.
Yeah,
I think we're pretty much set. So, like, as always, make sure to follow me at Libs of TikTok.
And who am I? I'm a real Jeff Simmons today. So
okay.
Come talk to me about Toronto. I know about that.
All right, changing it up a bit.
Yeah.
All right, sounds fun.
I had a funny one in mind, but before we started recording, but now I can't remember what it was going to be.
Next week I'll be Jeff Teedrich.
I hate that guy. All right, I'll see y'all later.
All right, bye.
Bye, Drew. Good show.